And this is Joseph Allen. I've got the honor and privilege of speaking with Jason Michael Carroll. Jason will be opening for Phil Vassar at the Miller Home Benefit Concert on Thursday, April 5th at Phase 2 in Lynchburg. Jason, thank you for taking the time to speak with me today.
Thanks for having me on today. I appreciate it.
Well, Jason, my first question, I want to talk about your newest CD, Numbers. You can purchase that CD digitally at iTunes, but it's only available in CD form at Cracker Barrel and online at shopcrackerbarrel.com. What led to that partnership?
Years ago, I ended up getting involved with Cracker Barrel, and I worked there for 2 years as a server in Henderson, North Carolina. And I remember, seeing their music department even then was starting to grow a little bit, and was always wondering the whole time I was at Arista if the possibility of being able to get onto, their music program. So I called, the heads of the label and things like that and would say, I saw all of my artist friends that had, I guess, their, new releases at Cracker Barrel. So I kind of tipped my hat and wanted to see if I could, kind of throw my hat in the ring to try and get a CD there, and we wound up getting it. I mean, after we left Arista, it was I guess it seemed like the right time to do it.
Oh, living in North Carolina, I have to ask, do you follow NCAA basketball?
Absolutely, I do.
Now, we were looking at last week a possible showdown between North Carolina and North Carolina State for a spot in the Final Four. Kansas, however, blew through both of those teams. Are you disappointed that there's no North Carolina team in the Final Four?
Yes, and this is basketball country. You're wrong. That's my favorite sport. But this is, to have especially I'm a Tar Heel fan, and to have them come through the way they did. We've had an injury-ridden team all season, and for them to be able to pull off, regular season ACC champs, and then to come into the tournament and get. I had people betting me money they wouldn't make Sweet 16, and I was like, what? And so when we had a chance to get to the Final Four, it was a big moment. But they played hard. It's something I know that next year we're going to have a really good team, and if we can stay healthy, it'll be even better.
Oh, absolutely, and making it to the Elite Eight, not too shabby.
Not bad at all.
Okay, and your newest single from Numbers, of course, Numbers, officially released 1 year ago tomorrow, March 28th. Are you working on any new projects?
We are. I'm, always writing new things. Always trying to stay writing and that kind of stuff. To be able to, I guess, try and figure out what the best method of getting music out there. Nowadays it's not always about a label anymore. There's pros and cons to each. If you don't have the label, then you have the power and ability and the will to be able to do what you want. Record the music that you want that necessarily wouldn't have made it out before. Make it sound the way that you'd like it to. However, then you run into not having the promotion team and the staff and the things like that a big label does. So, it's interesting to see what routes we have available. I guess that's where our next step's going to carry us, to see what we have in front of us. What are our options? So, I think that's the big thing. And but always writing, always staying on top of it. I mean, even as a signed artist, it was just something that writing was always something to me. Making that time, making that I guess opportunity to create something. It's what music's all about.
Jason, how did you become involved with the Miller Home Benefit Concert?
Actually, Phil Vassar called me up a couple weeks ago. I was working in my yard and doing some yard work, adding on to my deck, and he called me up and asked if I'd be interested in it. And I hadn't talked to Phil in a while. I was like, shoot, yeah. And then he told me where it was going to be at Phase 2, and we've played this area for a long time. And so to be able to come back, almost a homecoming, if you will, to Lynchburg, is going to be great, because I've always felt that we've always had that kind of that kind of relationship with that place. And, I mean, I was playing there as a local band before we ever got signed, period. So to have that opportunity to come back there and be a part of that was really cool.
You played Phase 2 back when it was still Catalani's. Have you been there since the changeover?
We did. We actually played there twice since the changeover, and it's I tell you what, Gary's done the right thing for that place. It's a phenomenal place. It's always been one of my favorite clubs to play just because the crowds have always been great there. But to go and see the changes they've made there, it blows me away. I mean, especially remembering all those years that we played there as Cal Annie's, and to see what they've done with it, it's an awesome place.
And have you worked with Phil Vassar much before?
Yeah, I have. Phil and I, we've done a few shows together. We used to technically, I guess, be label mates when I was at Arista. So the two of us, we've been around that label. He was there quite a bit longer than I was, but yeah, we've both been around that label for a pretty long time.
Okay, I've got just one more question for you, Jason. Here, Alyssa Lies was a huge hit in this area. Is that song planned as part of your set this time, or are you going to do something else for us?
I believe it will be, just because of the what the Miller home does and what it's accomplishing with turning lives around. I think that's a great thing, and to be able to understand something like that and come out and write a song about something like that. Whether it's troubled teens or abusive families or what it is, to be able to to write a song that speaks to people in that kind of level is something I'm very proud of. So I'd like to bring that to this event.
Okay, and is there anything else that you'd like to say to our listeners about any subject whatsoever?
About any subject whatsoever. I'd like to say thank you very much for listening to what we do, giving me the opportunity to come out and play, coming out to our shows and letting us have a party with you. We appreciate it.
Well, we are looking forward to seeing Jason Michael Carroll and Phil Vassar at the Miller Home Benefit Concert Thursday, April 5th, Phase 2 in Lynchburg at 7:30. Tickets are still available. Jason, we can't wait for the concert, and thank you so much for talking with me this morning.
No, thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate it.